Hey, what's good? It's your boy Saint Kwam. Today, we're going to be going through my top 10 rappers of all time. I've always been a big fan of hip hop, and it's been very influential in my life and in the music that I listen to and the music that I make. So I thought it'd be really cool to take a deep dive into 10 of the rappers that I feel have done it at the highest level. Some of the criteria that I'm going to be looking at in making this list are iconic moments, songs, albums, longevity and consistency, influence and impact, and also the skill level that these rappers possess. Now, discussing who the best rappers of all time are has always been a heated topic, so I know some of you are bound to disagree with my opinions, and some of you might even see where I'm coming from. But either way, what I'd like to see in the comments is what you agree with and maybe why you would have had your list differently. Okay, so before we jump into the top 10, I want to start off with some honorable mentions. The first of which is Andre 3000. If you just go by the air test, Andre 3K is one of the most gifted rappers to touch the mic. He has verses that could go toe to toe with any other MC's top verses, and he also has commercial success that most other rappers haven't seen. He just hasn't had enough solo output and consistency to crack the top 10, but I still haven't checked out his latest Flu album, so this list might change in the future. The next honorable mention is Rakim. So he's known as the God MC for all the right reasons. He was influential in terms of the way people rap with multi-syllabic rhymes, and he's the epitome of your favorite rapper's favorite rapper. I don't think he's reached some of the commercial heights that other artists in the top 10 have, but his impact is still felt today. And then we have Snoop. So Snoop Dogg is one of the most iconic rappers of all time, and Doggy Style is one of the best rap albums and best debut records from an artist ever. His partnership with Dr. Dre is one for the ages, and his larger-than-life personality has never faded, but his musical output hasn't been as strong as his earlier work. So now that we've got the honorable mentions out the way, let's jump right into the top 10 list. So number 10 on the list is Nicki Minaj. Nicki is unquestionably the greatest female rapper of all time and one of the greatest rappers, period. She's had many iconic moments in rap, including her verse on Monster, which showed she could stand her own amongst legends. In addition to being one of the most skilled MCs known for penning her own lyrics, she has also had the commercial success to match that, with several platinum albums and singles as well. Her latest album, Pink Friday 2, coming 13 years after her debut in 2010, shows she's had over a decade of dominance in her own lane. At number 9, we have Drake. So Drizzy, just like Nicki, came up under the same Young Money, Cash Money camp and grew into one of the biggest stars that rap has ever seen, with countless Billboard smashes and number one albums. His album Take Care is considered by many to be a hip-hop classic. While Drake has always dabbled in genres outside of hip-hop, he's always displayed elite lyricism and rap performances throughout his dominant career. Some could argue that in recent years, Drake has leaned more towards quantity versus quality, but his commercial impact has remained strong and is unlike any other rapper that we've seen before. At number 8, we have Eminem. So Eminem, I believe, is the highest selling rapper of all time. He teamed up with Dr. Dre and never looked back, introducing rap to a wider mainstream audience while making some of the most controversial yet skillful rap music that the genre had ever heard. The role that he played in 8 Mile was iconic. The song from the movie Lose Yourself was even more iconic. There was a point in time where this man was untouchable. He even signed 50 Cent, and he went on to be great himself. Even though I'm not one of the biggest fans of Eminem's music personally, I've got to admit that he's one of the best that has ever done it in rap. And now we have Lil Wayne. So Weezy F Baby is one of the most influential rappers of all time. Weezy went on one of the best mixtape album runs in the 2000s, where all people would listen to was Lil Wayne. His Carter series is iconic, and he's known for proclaiming that he was the best rapper alive far before the world began to recognize him as such. He is one of the most dynamic stars the game has seen, with the skill set, commercial appeal, and longevity that very few have displayed. To many people, he is the GOAT, and to that I would say he's definitely one of the GOATs for sure. At number 6, we have Notorious B.I.G. Biggie was one of the best MCs to ever step in a booth. He had a way with words and an effortless delivery that was way ahead of his time. His albums, all of which are considered hip-hop classics, were some of the most cinematic and finely crafted pieces of art for his time. Biggie unfortunately did not get the chance to show as much longevity as some of the other artists on this list, but the fact that he's considered by many to be the best with such low output is a testament to the essence and the quality behind his talent. Okay, so now we're getting into the top 5 best rappers of all time. At number 5, we have Tupac. I believe a picture of Tupac on stage should be in the dictionary next to the description of a rapper. He was the prototype. He was like the Jesus of rap if the culture was a religion. Pac had such range in terms of the emotion and topics he would tackle during his prolific career. One minute he would be a vengeful thug, the next a visionary poet, all while being 100% him and 100% hip-hop. If this list were solely based on impact, he would be at the top. But given the fact that, just like Biggie, his life was cut short, we just have to live with the classics that he left us. At number 4, we have Kanye West. And before I get into the reasons why Kanye is on this list, I want to put out this disclaimer to say that I do not in any way support Kanye's anti-Semitic views that he has shared, and me including him on this list is in no way supporting some of the hateful comments that he has made. This is solely based off of musical output. I also have not listened to his latest album, Vulture, so that's not included in this ranking. Kanye is one of the most creative, forward-thinking, and controversial rappers to ever live. His album run from The College Dropout in 2004 all the way to Yeezus in 2013 is near perfection. Albums like 808s and Heartbreak and Yeezus that were quite polarizing when they first came out have gone on to be some of his most influential. He has been a trailblazer in rap for close to 2 decades now. Kanye's controversies outside of his music have dominated the narrative around the rapper in recent times, and his recent albums have failed to reach the artistic heights of his past work. But the man clearly still has a lot to say to those who will still listen. And now we're moving on to the best 3 rappers of all time. At number 3, we have Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick is one of the most skilled MCs ever and one of the most meticulous when it comes to crafting albums. He burst onto the rap scene with audio movies like Section 80 and Good Kid, Mad City, and took rap to new heights with albums like To Pimp a Butterfly and my personal favorite, Damn, which won him a Pulitzer Prize in writing. Everything about Kendrick, from his album covers to his live performances, say this man is serious and he's focused on his craft. He hasn't released music as frequently as other rappers on this list, but each time he has, he's had something to say, and it's surrounded by great music. Kendrick doesn't seem like he's done rapping anytime soon, and he's one of the current rappers that has a chance at GOAT status when it's all said and done. And the silver medal for best rapper of all time goes to Jay-Z. Jay is considered by many to be the best rapper of all time, and some might even consider it blasphemy for me to have him at number 2 on my list, but hear me out. Jay-Z has been one of the most consistently dominant rappers we've seen, releasing a new studio album each year for 8 straight years, from Reasonable Doubt in 1996 all the way up until the Black Album in 2003, after which he announced his retirement, only to return to the game and display his greatness over subsequent releases, drawing comparisons to Michael Jordan and even calling himself the Michael Jordan of rap. So Jay is the definition of success both in music and in business. And while he's maintained a level of excellence in his career that very few can match, I would argue that the other rappers in my top 3 have reached higher artistic heights. And now for the number 1 rapper on my list, and my current GOAT, Nas. This might be a controversial take, but I believe as it stands today, Nas is the greatest rapper to ever do it. To many people, his album Illmatic is the best rap album ever, and I would have to agree. It set the bar for all rap albums coming after it, and it was the standard to which future classics like Good Kid, Mad City were held to. To have an album that's now studied in university classes is an artistic height that very few rappers have ever reached, and he released that album when he was 19, 20. His album after that, It Was Written, some could argue is even better than Illmatic. I would have to disagree. You see, Nas had a narrative that he had Illmatic and all his other albums were subpar. But now that I've taken time to go back and listen, I can see how someone could say he didn't have the most consistent catalog, but I would have to argue that his best albums and best songs are some of the best albums and songs in the genre. In addition to that, Nas has shown relentless consistency over 3 decades, with his most recent album run with the Magic and King's Disease series with Hit Boy. Nas has shown that he not only stands the test of time, but has been setting the pace for his peers since 1994. I think a lot of people approach Nas's career from the viewpoint of what excludes him from being the GOAT. But if you just look at his body of work, I think he's going to be remembered as the best. So that concludes my list of the top 10 rappers of all time. I think it's a fire list, but let me know your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Till next time, peace.